Welcome back to Create, Nourish, Move. I'm here today to talk to you about something that I'm a little nervous to talk about, honestly, because it's really real for me and it might be real for you. I've gotten requests to talk about this more because it's something that so many people struggle with and we don't know quite how to deal with it. The topic's anxiety. So in the world that we live in, people are so stressed and overwhelmed, and especially coming into this time of year, it can be amplified. Yoga is one of the only things that's helped me move through it and move through these stories that we tell ourselves in our head and get to drop into our bodies. So that's what I love about yoga. It helps to take us out of our heads into our bodies and be present with what's happening right now in the moment. So what I mean when I say that it brings us into our bodies, it brings us into a more physical space. So yes, some yoga is calmer or slower and more meditation based, but I really love a good vinyasa flow and movement to get out of my head. So you're thinking about left and right and trying to see what's going on right now. So if you're moving, like twisting to the right and moving your hips to the left, you're thinking about all these little intricacies, and it can be kind of complicated in a fun way, but that makes everything else tend to fall away. So we're not thinking about like, oh my God, what's this thing I said like 3 weeks ago, and what's going to happen? How is this going to play out? We're more dropped into the here and now. And I really think anxiety is the inability to stay in the present moment. So we're either ruminating on something that's happened in the past or we're projecting to the future, and it's like a loop. It's hard to break that cycle. But again, yoga just helps us to kind of come out of that and to drop more into reality instead of this story world, which oftentimes the things we tell ourselves in that space is not true. There's a space for a meditation practice that can really, really help you overcome those same stressful thoughts and worry. But I personally have a hard time sitting completely still when I'm feeling that way, especially when I'm feeling that way. If I have a lot going on in my head, like sitting there in a still meditation pose is really the last thing I want to do, because that loop's just going to keep going. But once I start to move, that can break the cycle. And then at the end of a nice full movement practice, I feel like I have the space to sit and relax, to meditate, to do a restorative pose, to lay in Shavasana. And that's when you can go into an even deeper space of relaxation. So most of the time we're stuck in fight or flight mode, which is the sympathetic nervous system. So fight or flight, originally this response in the body is meant to be used for short periods of time. It's to use in the state of emergency when we need to run away from something or really quickly save ourselves. And now in our current modern life, that our stress response isn't used in the body in the right way. It's used for a more elongated time and prolonged time. So we're stuck in it and we can't turn the off switch off. We can't turn the switch off. So we get stuck in this cycle of constant stress. And I think the effect that can have on our body is huge. I don't even know if the research can be done yet to know how detrimental that can be in the future, because in our modern world it's just getting worse and worse with the constant connectivity and the constant competition that we all experience every day. So we want to learn how to shut it off, and I think deep breathing and yoga is just such a beautiful way to do it. When we practice yoga, the breath is almost as important, or just maybe more important than the movement itself. And when we're stuck in this shallow breath, we stick ourselves in the sympathetic nervous system. So when you breathe just in the chest, when you breathe a little bit deeper down all the way towards your belly and you feel the breath inflating into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest, and the fronts, the backs, the sides of the lungs, really full breaths, that can start to switch it right away into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the relaxed response. And when we're able to skillfully turn off our fight or flight and move into a relaxed response, our body's going to function better. We're going to get more, we're going to get proper digestion. We're going to be able to sleep easier. We'll be able to kind of articulate more where we need our attention and our energy to go. Because we don't want to waste all our attention and energy on being stressed out and worrying all the time. For me, when I feel anxious, I get a physical effect in the body. It's real. There's no doubt. I feel shaky and nauseous. It can reflect in my digestion. It can reflect in my interactions. So when I'm feeling this way, taking 3 deep breaths. So this week that was the challenge, is to take 3 deep breaths, which I just had to do honestly before filming this video. Big breath in and big breath out 3 times. And I just start to slow down, like, okay, I got this. It can start to shift our perspective. And when we move into the parasympathetic nervous system and into a relaxed response, that's when the anxiety starts to fall away. It might not be easy at first to get there, but you'll start to feel a difference. And yoga can give a very physical answer to this problem of the physicality of anxiety, because it's not just in your head. If you ever struggled with anxiety, you know it's physical, it's real, and you can make yourself literally sick. But yoga gives you a physical answer to this problem, because you're moving things in your body, you're shifting the energy, you're moving through, and you can come out on the other side brighter and more relaxed, more at ease, and ready to tackle whatever comes your way. Sometimes anxiety seems cloudy to me. It's hard to even pinpoint exactly what's wrong or why it's wrong, and especially how to move past it. But I think the idea is just to break the cycle of this negative thought pattern. In yoga, sometimes we call it samskaras. So samskaras are these stories or patterns that you move through that aren't really serving you. So you want to find something that serves you better. And sometimes I find that's uncovered through a nice, deep grounding yoga practice where we can move, stir up the energy, and come out on the other side. To help stop anxiety, we're looking for a fresh perspective. We're looking for a break in the loop of that negative thought pattern. And we're looking for a difference physically in the body. Yoga helps us have all of those things, and it helps us stay present in the moment. This Saturday, I'm going to be posting another video for you of a few of my favorite yoga poses in flow form to help you quell your anxiety, to be less stressed, and to keep you in your relaxed response. So that video coming soon. And as always, I'm curious what works for you. I really want to know how you handle your anxiety or worry or stress from your day-to-day, what techniques work, what doesn't, and what helps to get you back on track. So leave this in the comments if you feel comfortable. Feel free to message me. I can't wait to hear from you. And as always, stay wildly well.